So, anyone piggybacking off the previous video, I mentioned I was going to dive into this. With this sketchbook, I went ahead. I have some sketches in here. I'm going to probably do a quick recap video, or I'll do it in here, and I'll have a TikTok going over my previous drawings. But basically, I have to start this channel a drawing project in mind that is dear and personal to me, but I want to bring everyone on this journey. Ultimately, I don't want to go into full depth reason why it's going on. That part is personal, but I think being able to express myself this way is going to be very useful and helpful, and I am very excited to take you along with me. So to start, shortly here on the screen, there should be two photos that I'm going to be using as reference. One is me that was taken end of last year because I don't have any current ones, although that might change because I do have a scheduled photo shoot in about a week and a half, 2 weeks or so. So I might slightly change the photo reference for now me, but it's also going to involve younger me, which currently is actually a profile picture of my TikTok channel. And I have this really cool idea of like a kind of a self-reflection, me, younger me sketch I want to do. And so that's what I want to go with and kind of introduce this idea with that. And ultimately, any suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments or anything like that. But that's kind of where I want to start this video with. But we'll jump on in. The younger version of me, I feel like that makes sense starting at the back. The photo, I feel like it makes the most sense to kind of start with the bench. It feels weird, but I feel like that also, well, maybe not so. So, fortunately, I'm going to make fun of younger me. I have more of a squarish face. So, kind of, I'm not using too dark a pencil for this. So, kind of like that. Now this is going to be a work in progress as I go. This is the collar is going to kind of wrap sharply in front. This kind of going right into my neck. I feel like I'm making myself look older than I need to be. With, and this photo is, me when I was in Cub Scouts. Very, very young. So it's like kind of wraps like this. I'm like wearing a hoodie, sort of, where this kind of droops down over what would be my shoulder, something like that. And this is basically going to come straight out and like down. I don't know if you can see what exactly that looks like, and I think it'll help if I tidy this up a little bit. It's like there's that, and then see. So this collar is gonna closely follow into that with the shoulder dropping. So I'm like looking over my shoulder. And just right now, this is kind of like an initial draft. I'm not expecting this to be perfect. I have like a circle. That's, let me see. We'll leave it. We'll fix it. Fix it later. And then my other shoulder just kind of drops straight down. Because ultimately, like from here, my body's this way, and it's all kind of blended in with the colors. So got like this ruffle where presumably my arm's gonna go. And you have like this pocket. And then from like here, we're gonna have this square for my shoulder. The back kind of droops straight down. say about, let's see, I almost want to say like here. My sleeve's like rolled up, or it's a short sleeve with a long sleeve underneath. I'm just trying to explain my I don't know if it's really explaining, but just gonna go through my thought process with this. And like I'm kind of hunched over, so there's gonna be these long crease lines here. And then what's gonna get tricky is my arm kind of like, because it's just a sleeve, it's like gonna curve. And then we're gonna get this where my arm kind of just juts out like this. And if you're kind of looking at this all weird, kind of looking at inverted, like nothing's expected to be perfect here. I mean, you might expect perfection, but it's a first draft. Because my hands do ultimately come together. It's not like that sharp, so it's something like that, where I'm going to get kind of the same deal. The sleeve's going to be more like down here. And if I decide to ever add color to this, I think that'll definitely help with it. And then I'm going to just shoot back at the top of the head. It is just kind of very squarely rounded, if that makes sense. So something like that. Get, my big, fat, young ears in here. And then kind of from here, my leg, not quite at the elbow, but just below, jut out and then down. That's kind of where it cuts off. And there's definitely a gap with a sharp intake. And then under, like the elbow here, gonna curve. And then into the arm. So where the end of the shirt is. That's, and this leg is gonna kind of Alright, we'll continue on. Sorry to make a brief break in there. So, we'll have to work on this definitely some bit. It's like this is gonna cut, and then we're gonna kind of go down. And like I think honestly, this part should kind of be like more down there. And then this is probably gonna make more sense. These are going to come a little more down. Right now, I'm just going to turn it into a big old V. And then I definitely think along with that, I know where it's supposed to come, but if I bring it further down, where it's kind of slanted, so the knee kind of curves there. So if I bring it straight slanted, down like that, I feel that makes a lot more sense if you can see that. Now I know it's gonna be flipped. I don't know, change perspective, make sure it's all looking all nice. But I think that is definitely a decent start for this. And every time I work on this, which will probably be, 20 minutes a day, maybe more, depending on how I'm feeling, this feels like a decent start. Now, proportions are kind of off. I'm going to tweak, fix it. I'm going to make sure I have all of it kind of entangled in here. Sometimes I might put a little work here, and I'll try to explain what I did. But I think this is kind of a good point. Thank you for joining me on this short little journey. And keep an eye out for any more videos. I am going to be trying to post daily. Sometimes it might be one of these videos. It might be a stream. Could be clips. But just keep looking forward to it. And my only goal is that the reason that you say you're doing good today is because you're a better person than you were yesterday.